All right, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Unbreakable Michael Elgin.
How long have you been in wrestling?
My first match was in November 2003.
Okay, where did you start?
I started training in Toronto, but my first match was actually in Hamtramck, Michigan.
Okay, why did you want to become a wrestler?
It was just something that I always was a fan of. You know, I was the youngest of my family, so growing up, all my cousins and then aunts and uncles were all wrestling fans. So I grew up watching them watch wrestling and watching them play with the action figures, and it was kind of something where when they grew out of it, I got their hand-me-downs at a very young age, so it was just something that stuck with me.
Well, how did you get into it?
Man, I remember I was 14 and me and friends were backyard wrestling, and this kid moved into town. He's a big wrestling fan. We started backyard wrestling. He said, "Hey, I got this flyer for a wrestling camp. It says all ages. They do 2 weeks in the summer of training." So, man, I called up and got booked for that 2 weeks of thing, and went and did the camp, and then stuck with that school. But after the time, I realized, you know, I'm 14, and I just found the first school. It wasn't really a good school, so then I found Squared Circle Wrestling in Toronto. It was ran by Rob Flago, and that was just a really good place in Toronto because we got a lot of people through there, like Joe Legend, Edge, Christian, a bunch of other guests came in and out, Tyson Duke, so it was a really good place to train.
Okay. Squared Circle, same as this?
Yeah, Squared Circle Wrestling.
Oh, okay. So same name, different company. All right. And your primary company now is Ring of Honor?
Yes. My primary company would definitely be Ring of Honor.
How long have you been with them?
I got with them in November of 2010.
Okay, how did that come about?
I actually did one of their camps they do. So I would suggest anybody who's a wrestler and wants to get somewhere big is do those camps, man. I mean, there's quite a few people that come out of them, and I think that, you know, my success has spoken for itself. So I think those camps that they run are really worth it. What
would you have to achieve with your career to feel like it was worth it?
I feel like it is already worth it. I think that if I can't wrestle anymore, you know, after tomorrow, that I can look back and be happy with what I've accomplished. I think I've done a lot of stuff. Definitely the 5-star match with Davey is something that will be written in the history books. So that's something I can look back at and know that people are going to know the name Michael Elgin because I'm on a not very long list of great matches.
What was your favorite match so far? Was it with the Davey one?
Either that or with Kevin Steen at Glory by Honor in Toronto.
Okay. You haven't held the world title there yet?
Not yet, but that's definitely my goal right now.
All right. What's the worst experience you've had in the ring?
I blew out my PCL, MCL, and dislocated my kneecap in a match.
In one match?
Yeah, took a ladder over the top rope through the tables and busted out the knee.
Wow, where was that?
Napanee, Ontario. I don't remember the year, but I was 19.
Yeah, I assume that was the worst injury in the ring too?
Yes, definitely.
What's the weirdest thing that's happened to you in the ring?
I can't really I don't know about that one.
Okay, all right. What do you think of the wrestling scene in general, like the independent and the national?
You know what? I think as a whole, since I've started, this is probably the best I've ever seen it, talent-wise. And again, there's been some great talent that come through, but if you really pay attention, like, from start to finish, these shows are great. I mean, I remember watching tapes where it would be, let's say, CM Punk versus Colt Cabana on some show in Indiana or whatever. But the rest of the show wasn't so good. But now you see, you know, guys like Kevin Steen, Eddie Edwards, Davey Richards. Those guys have those big matches, but the rest of the card is just as good. So I think right now it's really striving. There's a lot of great talent out there.
What about the national scene, WWE, TNA? Any thoughts on that?
Man, I think they're all trying to do it right. I think WWE is definitely getting on the right path. Not quite there yet, in my opinion, but they're definitely reaching for that. And I just see big things for everybody, you know. TNA wants to do things right. WWE's trying to bring wrestling back, and it's just, I think it's good to see, and it's something to look at as, you know, the future is going to be bright.
Well, what do you think the best thing that could happen to the wrestling industry would be?
You know, people just realize that it's still a passion for us, and we still want people to come, and just more people coming through the doors and more people supporting us, because I think a lot of people have lost their way about pro wrestling and don't really understand what it is. It's the best of everything. You know, you go to a movie theater to watch a movie, you go to a basketball game to watch sports, you go to UFC to watch sports, whatever it may be. Wrestling's all that combined. It's theater, it's movies, it's books, it's mixed martial arts, it's pro sports, it's everything all in one. So if all these fans realize what it is, they're going to love it again.
How much can you lift?
Depends what we're talking. My max bench ever was 505 pounds. My max squat ever was 785.
Wow. All right. Is there anything else people should know? Do you have a web presence?
You know, just I'm trying to keep active on Twitter, so you can follow me at ROH Michael Elgin or Michael Elgin on Facebook. I don't really have a website or anything. It just takes up too much time, so I try to update my Twitter and Facebook as much as possible. Facebook's I think's maxed out at 5,000 friends, but you can always, you know, stop by, shoot me a message. I always try to respond to all the fans.
Okay. All right. Anything else people should know?
No, I think that's good.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.